This is one 200-meter segment of road that we're working on. If you multiply that by all the 100-meter segments of road, it all adds up, and you have to start somewhere. So it's important to me to do what I can, and as a road foreman, I'm trying to do my share, do my part.
Passed in 2015, the Vermont Clean Water Act required the state of Vermont to regulate runoff from municipal roads in order to achieve the targets of the Lake Champlain phosphorus TMDL. Under a new permitting process, towns must identify sources of phosphorus pollution and develop plans for reducing their impacts on water quality.
At the heart of the program is the requirement that towns would have to develop a road erosion inventory for all of their roads, especially those municipal roads that are in close proximity to waters. And towns would have to prioritize and schedule an implementation plan over a 20-year period of how they would bring roads up to the municipal road standards by having these practices in place. The 20-year plan is tied to some of the total maximum daily lows, or TMDLs, with some of the major watersheds in the state where they don't meet water quality standards. When we talk about best management practices or standards, we're really talking about how do we improve the drainage of municipal roads.
I believe phosphorus is a big thing that matters. The way I see it working is the finer particles are the ones that go the distance, because you get heavy particles, they settle out wherever it can settle out. When it gets to a slower moving waterway, it'll settle out, but the fines, it just keeps going because it doesn't settle out till it gets to Lake Champlain.
The Vermont DEC's Municipal Grant and Aid Program provides critical funding for municipalities to put best management practices in place to bring their roads up to standards.
Because it's so long and so steep, if there's opportunities for cross culverts, so not only stone lining both sides, but getting some water disconnected by putting in some cross culverts.
Rather than being reactive and always filling in, the gullies and the washouts after a rain, we can be proactive with that money and make it so it doesn't happen. This grant helps us put another cross culvert in, re-ditch the ditches, put stone in them so they're stable. So any water trapped on the uphill side following the road gains volume and it gains velocity. So when you put a cross culvert in, it takes the water that's on the uphill side of the road and discharges it down. Now you're getting that water off the road faster, which is very helpful. On the steeper sections of road, if you line those ditches with stone, then the stone sets that ditch in place, and now the water can run over the stone and it doesn't continually eat the bottom of your ditch, which sends the fines down the chain of the waterways. Even though it may seem like this little piece of road is insignificant to the problem, it really isn't, because the problem is this piece of road and the 500 other pieces of road that are just like it. That all adds up. It just keeps adding up. So you have to start somewhere. You start where you can.